Hello friends, welcome to Crime Chronicles US, where America's unsolved mysteries, vanished criminals, and chilling cases come alive. Every story is real, every detail matters, and the truth remains buried in the shadows. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to stay updated with every mystery. The city was alive in a way it hadn't been before. Neon lights flickering across wet pavements, the air heavy with smoke and the distant thrum of music spilling from the nightclubs. Glasgow in the late 1960s was restless, full of youth, ambition, and a darkness that hid in plain sight. There were the girls in miniskirts, laughing over cigarettes outside the bars, men in tailored suits clutching their coats against the wind, and somewhere, lurking beneath it all, a shadow that the city had yet to recognize. It began with the whispers, women disappearing after nights out, their friends saying they hadn't seen them since they left the Barrowland Ballroom, one of the city's famed dance halls. At first, it seemed like ordinary tragedy, another lost soul to the unforgiving streets. But soon, a pattern emerged, chilling in its simplicity. They were all young women, bright and beautiful, and they all knew the same man. Or at least, that was the rumor circulating in hushed voices. Inspector Reed sat at his desk, hands clasped, eyes fixed on the photos spread before him. 3 women, Patricia Docker, Helen Puddock, Jemima McDonald, all found strangled, all within months of each other. And the descriptions from witnesses, the man who had been seen speaking to them, were eerily consistent. He was quiet, polite, clean-cut, wearing a suit that looked borrowed from someone else's life. But something in the way he watched women, something predatory, almost religious, chilled those who met his gaze. They called him Bible John. Reed rubbed his temples. The press had picked up the story, sensationalizing it, calling it the work of a man inspired by holy wrath. Bible John, they said. He shook his head at the absurdity, though he couldn't deny the danger. The killer seemed methodical, intelligent, and terrifyingly elusive. Meanwhile, the nightlife carried on, oblivious to the storm gathering in the shadows. Inside the Barrowland, the band played, skirts swirled, and laughter mingled with the music. Helen had come with friends that night, a glass of sherry in her hand, her smile bright and unguarded. She caught the eye of a man near the bar, a stranger, polite, asking to buy her a drink. She didn't know then that her courtesy would be her undoing. They talked, danced, and for a moment, the city felt like a different place, one where danger was only a distant rumor. But as the clock ticked past midnight, the stranger suggested leaving together. Helen agreed, thinking little of it. He seemed harmless, charming even. Outside, the fog had rolled in, curling around the lamplight like smoke from another world. That night, Helen Puddock vanished, leaving behind only questions and fear. Reed and his team worked tirelessly. Witnesses described the man, but their accounts were frustratingly inconsistent. Some said he was tall, some medium height. Some described a beard, others clean-shaven. He left no fingerprints, no traces, nothing that could pin him down. And yet there was a sense of inevitability about his actions, a rhythm that only someone completely controlled could maintain. The newspapers ran stories, interviews, theories. The city grew restless, each disappearance feeding the collective anxiety. Parents warned their daughters. Friends grew suspicious of strangers. And the legend of Bible John grew in the shadows, feeding the imagination of a city that could not yet confront the horror within it. By the time Patricia Docker disappeared, the hunt had become urgent. Reed knew the killer was careful, calculated, someone who planned meticulously but acted impulsively when the right moment presented itself. The idea that he might be sitting in a pub, drinking quietly among ordinary people, almost felt intolerable. He could be anyone. And yet, despite the fear, life went on. Glasgow was a city of resilience. The Barrowland continued to echo with music. Girls laughed and danced, oblivious to the predator among them. The darkness waited patiently, a presence unseen, yet palpably there, threading its way through the night. Reed stared at the photographs once more. He could feel the weight of the city's eyes on him. The killer was clever, but perhaps, he thought, not invincible. Somewhere there was a clue, a detail overlooked, a word spoken too lightly, a gesture that revealed him. And Reed was determined to find it, no matter the cost. The night deepened, and with it the sense of impending dread. Somewhere in the fog, Bible John watched, waiting for the next moment, the next opportunity. And the city, unaware, continued its dance. The city woke to a fragile kind of unease. The fog that had blanketed Glasgow for days began to lift, revealing streets that looked ordinary, yet seemed suddenly menacing. Inspector Reed and his team doubled down on their search, tracing every lead, every whisper of someone who might have seen the mysterious stranger. The press had turned their gaze on the Barrowland Ballroom again, speculating about the last known movements of the victims. Everyone in the city seemed to be watching, waiting, yet the killer remained a ghost. Reed walked the familiar streets alone, notebook in hand, retracing the steps of Helen Puttock. He moved slowly, deliberately, observing the lamplights flicker against the damp cobblestones. Every shadow seemed to stretch and twist, and every passerby's glance carried a hint of suspicion. The city itself felt complicit in the hiding of this man, as if Glasgow itself was sheltering a secret. Meanwhile, the team had begun to analyze the minor inconsistencies in witness accounts. One of Helen's friends recalled that Bible John had been overly pious, quoting scripture casually, almost theatrically. Another said he seemed unnervingly aware of the victims' routines, a detail that suggested he had observed them carefully, waiting for the right moment. These small pieces of the puzzle began to form a picture, one of meticulous preparation, yet with a volatile undercurrent. The investigation took Reed deeper into the social fabric of the city. He spoke with taxi drivers, nightclub employees, even street vendors. Each story was fragmented, a shard of the larger truth. A man remembered seeing someone matching the description outside a cinema. Another remembered a stranger asking detailed questions about the victims. Acquaintances. It was a web, intricate and shadowed, and Reed was trying to pull on one thread without collapsing the whole. Then came the tip from a woman named Mary, who had been at the Barrowland on the night Helen disappeared. She spoke of a man who seemed out of place, polite, almost rehearsed in his movements, yet with an intensity in his eyes that made her uneasy. He had left with Helen, smiling, and she remembered a particular detail, a small silver cross he wore around his neck, glinting in the dim light. It was a slender lead, yet it felt promising. Reed followed it, tracing back to a circle of acquaintances and friends who might have known someone fitting the description. Each inquiry brought frustration, dead ends, and half-truths. Yet slowly, a picture began to emerge. A man socially adept, outwardly ordinary, but harboring a darkness he masked with charm and feigned religiosity. And then, one night, a breakthrough came unexpectedly. A shopkeeper near the edge of the city recalled a man purchasing cord and gloves, insisting they were needed for a religious ritual. The description matched every other detail: clean-cut, polite, watchful, and unnervingly precise. The cord, the gloves, the subtle references to scripture, all lined up. Reed felt a surge of hope, a chance to finally confront the man who had haunted the city for months. It was a cold evening when they finally tracked him down. Reed and his team approached cautiously, knowing that one misstep could allow him to vanish like smoke. The man was alone, walking near the river, his coat drawn tightly around him. Reed stepped forward, voice calm but firm, identifying himself as police. The man stopped, eyes cold, calculating, yet not surprised. "You've been looking for me," he said softly, almost as if expecting them all along. There was no aggression, no panic, just the eerie calm of someone who had rehearsed this moment endlessly. Reed signaled his team, moving closer, careful. In the end, there was no dramatic chase, no violent confrontation. Bible John surrendered with a quiet inevitability, as if his capture had been part of his plan all along. He spoke little, answering questions with careful precision, offering glimpses of his twisted logic. He spoke of control, of purity, of a moral code twisted beyond recognition. The city, which had held its breath for so long, finally exhaled. Court proceedings followed, sensationalized by the press. Bible John became a symbol of fear and fascination, his crimes dissected and debated endlessly. Reed testified, recounting the painstaking work that had brought a measure of justice to the victims and their families. Yet even as the case closed, the shadow remained. The story of Bible John lingered in Glasgow streets, in whispered conversations, and in the city's memory. A reminder of the darkness that can hide behind ordinary faces. Life returned to its routines, the Barrowland Ballroom still alive with music, young women still laughing, the fog rolling in and out like a restless tide. But the city had changed. Beneath the veneer of normalcy, there was an understanding now, a wariness that wasn't there before, a recognition that evil could be patient, meticulous, and disturbingly human. Inspector Reed walked those streets long after the trial, notebook in hand, thinking of Patricia, Helen, Jemima. He thought of the city that had borne the weight of fear, and of the fragile threads that separated ordinary life from horror. Somewhere, perhaps in another city, another time, there might be another Bible John. But for Glasgow, the chapter had closed, the hunter caught at last. And though the music played on and the lights glowed, the memory lingered, a shadow that reminded everyone that even in the brightest places, darkness waits, silent and patient, until someone notices it. So friends, if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Crime Chronicles US for more chilling unsolved mysteries from across America. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next story.